So then you have the individual or the group or the local acts that can be terrorist acts, that can be violent acts or killings. But you cannot blame the entire religion again. It's one person, it's two people, it's maybe a group of people, it's maybe an entire wild. But first of all, it is almost always temporarily to violently suppress or oppress one particular issue, or to take care of, quote unquote, of a particular problem. And then people go on with their lives. It's not a perpetual hate that people have. So, Islamofascism doesn't exist also because there is no movement there. There is no war against the West. Yes, there is an Osama bin Laden who says that he hates the West and that Muslims should do this and Muslims should do that. But of course, out of the 1 billion people, how many people have immigrated to Afghanistan or joined his club to become a jihadi fighter? I don't think anyone who's listening to this. So, in any case, most Islamic countries that we know of are US partners. The leadership is not hostile to the West. So, there is more a friendly attitude towards the West than proving an Islamofascist movement being powerfully moving toward the West. It's not true. It doesn't exist. So, some fascist or fascistuous, as I call it, elements may exist among a very small number of Muslims, but to brand the entire religion as fascist would be akin to categorize violent or intolerant acts or political struggles by Christians or Jews as Christo-fascism or Judeo-fascism, respectively. What I want to note here is that the term Islamofascism is promoted by a particular fringe, by a particular group or a few groups, with a lot of people parroting it. Why do they do that? I think those are anti-Islam elements, and they do it for various reasons, including confusion. They want to spread confusion so that they can create an environment of distrust. And if that is established, then they can very nicely convert those Muslims. So it's not only aimed at instilling hatred or fear in the West against Islam, but it's also to confuse Muslims themselves to read their souls and to convert them so that they can build bigger churches. Right? Now here is an example of what kind of violence it may be that could be termed as a particular kind of fascist hate. Because what is this? What you see is a demolished, destroyed mosque, which was destroyed during the Bosnian War in the Bosnian village of Almisi. And the guys who did this were convicted by the UN judges here in The Hague, in Holland. But these people not only destroyed this structure, which is, it's a structure that would be okay if there is such a conflict. You place a bomb there, it blows up. But what these people did is they went out on a killing spree in that city, and they left more than 100 Muslim men, women and children. And they burned every Muslim home to the ground in that city. This man, is he a fascist? No, he's Tom Tancredo. Tom Tancredo is a member of the US House of Representatives. What he has been found guilty of is responding to a question by a caller at a radio show where he was a guest. And that guest asked, what should the answer be of the United States if we were to be bombed by Osama bin Laden? And this man, who represents a lot of people in the US House of Representatives, said, you know, we should nuke Mecca. So this man, who's not a fascist, answers to a political question with, of course, a religious twist with Osama bin Laden as the potential hypothetical perpetrator. Anti-Islam authors are having a field day these days, especially after the rise of Osama bin Laden. There came a huge new industry, which is called the anti-terrorist academia or anti-Islam authorship, and it's a multi-million-dollar industry. We have anti-Islam authors, and I have tried to categorize them in 3 groups. The first is the group of panic mongers. Those are the likes of Robert Spencer. Panic mongers say, listen, if we don't do anything right now, they will come over and take our homes and our land and our jobs and our wealth and our women. The crisis analysis, the second group, for example, Bernard Lewis and so, are saying, you know what, Islam is in crisis. The West may be in a crisis because of it, but there is a crisis, and I know how to write about it, and you should read my books. The third is the doomsday prophets. Michael Savage is an example. I have a clip where you can hear him cursing and yelling and accusing, even inciting hate. And the doomsday prophet kind of writers say, you know what, it's almost too late. It's almost too late. Islam should be reformed. Heck, Islam should be banished. Heck, Islam should be totally eradicated from the surface of the earth. So doomsday authors like Michael Savage, or crisis analysts and panic mongers like Robert Spencer, have a field day. They are making lots of money with lots of books. What you will see now is a clip from YouTube, and we were shocked to hear this because this is pure incitement by Mr. Michael Savage, the doomsday prophet.
There are too many RDDBs in high places and in the media and in the courts for us to stand up to this fanatical enemy. And so unless the RDDB is reined in somehow or taken out of power, we're going to die as a nation. I swear to God, that's what people are saying to me. And these are intelligent people, wealthy people. They are very depressed by the weakness that America is showing to these psychotics in the Muslim world. They say, oh, there's 1 billion of them. I said, so kill 100 million of them. Then there'll be 900 million of them. I mean, would you rather die? Would you rather us die than them? I mean, what is it going to take for you people to wake up? Would you rather we disappear and we die? Or would you rather they disappear and they die? Because you're going to have to make that choice sooner rather than later.
That was Michael Savage. This is just an example of the barrage of hateful speeches that he holds. I am really stunned and amazed by the fact that he has not been arrested. But keep in mind, Michael Savage is not an unknown author. He has millions and millions of listeners to his radio show. He's very well respected by the people. There are major advertisers on his show. This man is seen as a prophet. He is taken serious. This kind of text that you will hear often, just do a YouTube search or a Google search on Michael Savage, and you'll see the text and the nature of his speeches. It's utterly violent, it's inciting. But that's just an example.